Gentlemen, that is the marketing plan. But right now, I'm going to bring our distributor, our friend, Sister Charlene. It happened to her. Amazing story. You know what happened to her, to my mom, to myself. We have all the amazing, crazy, unbelievable story. But the
Yeah.
problem when you put it on, it happened in her in maybe 3 months. It might happen to you in 5 months or 1 year. You don't know
Right.
because everybody is different. So we are not making any medical claim at all. But Shar is just going to tell you a story what happened to her exactly. But her what happened to her, I was so excited. I jumped off my socks literally when I heard it. I said, "Oh my God, that is so amazing, Shar!" And thank you for sharing it with us.
Yeah.
Shar, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you
There
to
we go.
all for having me here this evening. And yes, Roy, I'm ready to share my story.
All right.
Well, I struggled with blood sugars, high blood sugars for years. I have had migraine headaches since I was 16 years old, and I am 65 now. I lived with sciatica pains for 15 years. Then high blood pressure and acid reflux came into play. With living through Western medicine and prescriptions, because that's all I knew for years, it created many, many health challenges for me. And as owning my own construction company, and you know how stressful that can be, well, along with my parents falling ill, I had to do my share of caring for them. And my problem was they lived in Hawaii and I lived here in California. So the stress levels became much higher. And with me spending almost 10 months of the year in Hawaii taking care of my parents and seeing my husband 2 months of the year, that became even more challenging. So, by living under stressful conditions, such as lack of sleep, wearing myself down to the last drop of energy I had in my body, poor diet, I ate only when I found time to eat. And that drove me again to many, many health challenges. And in 2016, I became very, very ill. Just imagine you're sitting on your sofa and excruciating pains all hit you in the abdomen area all at once, just attacking you. And that evening I will never forget. Why? It is a pain that I would never wish on anyone. I could not even sit up, I could not even lay on my back. All I could do was lay on my stomach. And of course, I was pretty stubborn Hawaiian and I chose not to go to the ER. And with that, I wanted to wait until I saw my doctor the next morning. Honestly, with all the pain I was experiencing, I felt my life was at an end. I spent the next few hours that evening making peace with God and myself. I really did not think I was going to make it through the night. Well, the next morning, I did get an appointment with my doctor. And before I saw him, he sent me for a lot of blood workups, x rays, CT, and scans, okay, all of my abdomen area. And I had an appointment at 2:30, which I did see him that afternoon. And sitting in his office, as he told me my liver was infected, all of my intestines were infected, my stomach was infected, and my organs were beginning to shut down. I was devastated. His advice was, he's going to admit me into the hospital and they're going to start antibiotics to clear out the infections and prepare me for dialysis treatment. Okay, I became even more devastated because I knew that at that point, with my blood sugars being out of control, I would never survive any surgeries or anything. And I have witnessed many of my family members undergoing dialysis treatment and passing 3 to 5 years later, No, that wasn't for me. So at that point, I came to the conclusion that I had an amazing life. And if it was God's plan to take me tonight, I was going to go home and die at home. That's how bad it was. So I refused to go to the hospital at that point and I came home. And I have a firm belief that when God shuts one door, he opens a bigger door. And that afternoon, after my doctor's appointment about 3:30, I received a phone call from a very good friend of mine checking up on me. And I remember telling her that I am done. I don't want any more chemicals or drugs in my body. And my girlfriend said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, just wait a minute. I just heard about a technology today at our women's club, and it's a technology with no chemicals and drugs. And we need to go listen to this presentation." And I knew her love for me, she just wanted to help me. And, as skeptical as I was with all the pain I was in, I actually made a phone call to a woman named Julian Chung, who spent 2.5 hours with me before on the phone, talking to her about everything, what I was going through and how, will this technology help? And yet I still went to the office and saw her at 6:30 p.m. She was like my guiding light. And she went ahead and put everything on hold to help me through this trying time. And I did listen to the LifeWave presentation and watch them demonstrate on my girlfriend for the pain that she had in her legs and how her pain was gone within seconds after putting these little stickers on her. And what I saw, I could not believe. I At that point I figured out, okay, this is the door God was showing me to look in. So I did. And I picked up the distributor package and went, to work on healing my own body. I had to learn the benefits of my patches and how they would work for me. As I patched every day, I saw improvements in my health. My excruciating pain started to diminish each day. My energy level was increasing. And, I didn't sleep 16 hours a day anymore. My sleep became so amazing, sleeping the 8 hours a day that I needed. Well, my health was looking up by using these, I called them at that time little band-aid stickers, okay? And I even amazed myself. Well, my doctor had me on a weekly visit to monitor my health. And that first time, he saw me, he was so amazed again with my blood work results that he was able to remove me off of the dialysis list. And then it became monthly visits. And on my monthly visits, there was great time for improvement of my health. And all the numbers from blood work just began to fall into place. After my first 30 days, my doctor was able to remove me from my blood pressure medication. In 60 days, I was able to be removed from my acid reflux medication. And I had stopped all of the 800 milligram Motrins that I was taking because there was no need for them anymore. And upon visiting my doctor for my first year annual physical, he himself could not believe the numbers of my blood work. My failing organs were at an all time high, and he was amazed. I have been patching with this amazing, amazing technology for 4 years now, and all I can say is that I have an amazing quality of life. I have more energy today than ever in my life. And also, I sleep the required amount of hours, and my blood sugars are under control. And as we all know, that with blood sugar control, it is so very important to deal with diet. Well, I have not had a migraine in over 4 years. I have not experienced any sciatica pains in 4 years. And let alone, I have not taken a Motrin in 4 years. And also, acid reflux and blood pressure is still good. So, over this 4 year amazing journey, I have been able to help many people with energy, pain, sleep, appetite control, stress, muscle repair, support their immune system, and most important, this is how I say it, how to elevate, activate, and regenerate their own stem cells. As our inventor David says, it is very important to have proper sleep, good diet, and exercise. And this will lead you to the road of living long, living well, and living young. Now, I know I have a dynamic, dynamic leaders on this call today. So, what I'm going to do, Roy, at this point, because I've seen you and Rick going ahead and answering questions, everybody patches differently. And I think the leaders on this Zoom, they will be able to guide you to the best patching as they see. Aloha and mahalo.
Thank you for the great testimonial, Shar. It's amazing.